Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in, everyone. Thanks for joining me up here, Salty.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm glad to be here.
This is going to be a short one today, folks, because I'm prepping for my big interview tonight. So Sinead, I love the intro tune and the outro tune, but it's not in the public domain. So every time I play that for my intro and outro, I don't get a copyright strike, but I can't monetize that episode, which isn't a big deal to me. I'm not in this for the money, but it is annoying to have that warning go out every single day, twice a day. So this may be the
Some
last more. Go ahead.
no, if you sometimes you can find some really good music on YouTube itself or like CapCut. One of the theme songs that I use, the guy lets it he approves it to be used on YouTube, right? But he gets a cut, like a
Right,
royalty fee. So, and I don't have a
right.
problem with that. But I get what you're saying. It's difficult to find music we can use legally and not get a and it, like you said, it's not a strike, but it's annoying after a while.
Yeah, it is. And so I think there are 4 categories of music that you can play. One of them will get you absolutely copyright struck, like your video gets taken down if you play certain kinds of
Mhm.
music, certain copyright covered music. And then the one that I got, which is a copyright violation notice, which just says you can't monetize. Then there are the kind that you share your royalties, like you have,
Mhm.
and then there's the public domain where you can play them as much as you want whenever you want. And
Where did you
there's
get that music from? I mean, did where did
uh,
you find?
it
I
may
get
have been
mine from Cat. Go ahead.
it was either Canva or CapCut. It was one of those two
Oh
that I put
yeah, because
together.
I haven't done music on Canva yet, but I have with CapCut. And I've only ran into one issue with CapCut with like a violation of the music rights or whatever. I'm like, well, don't put it on your app if it's not readily available,
Right. Right.
right? But you
Why
have
are you
to,
even?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So y'all need to fix your stuff, man.
Right. Yeah, I didn't even know until, I mean, I was 4 or 5, maybe even 6 episodes in before they gave me that notice and said, "Oh, yeah, this is protected. We're not going to strike you, but you can't make money off of it."
Yeah. Yeah. The songs I have chosen, luckily, they can still be monetized, but like I said, they'll share the with the owner of the song, and I don't mind that part, I mean, hell, they wrote it. And Sinead, I like that coffee in the morning one too. If he wants to take a little cut of his royalties, let him have it. But I don't think he does. I know there's one that I use that I don't use anymore, and it was a really good one. It was called Don't Jump Salty, but I used it for a video a long time ago, but I think that's the one that I can't use anymore. But whatever. I like the one I got.
All right. So, just going to hit on a couple of light topics this morning, like the fact that we're all going to fall off the face of the planet.
Mm,
You know that?
we are. I
So
better
this is
get a
an
bag
article.
ready. I'm gonna need a few things. I call it
You
a
need
shit
some
and get bag.
right. So this is an article published on CNN.com on Monday afternoon.
Oh gosh.
It says it's almost science fiction. Scientists say the shape of the Earth's inner core is changing.
Oh, Lord. Joe, you're gonna make me have to take anxiety meds. Go ahead. I'm interested. What are they saying?
Scientists just months ago confirmed that the Earth's inner core recently reversed its spin, and they have a new revelation about our planet's deepest secrets. They identified changes to the inner core's shape. So it's reversing its spin and it's changing shape.
Is that why we're getting dizzy?
It could be. It could be. I mean,
We're
because
all wonky
what
because the
else?
earth don't know which way it wants to go. It's like, whoa, no, no, let's go this way. What's causing it? The
Um,
people?
I doubt it.
Oh, come on.
Earth's innermost layer is a hot, solid ball of metal surrounded by a liquid metal outer core. For decades, planetary scientists suspected that the solid inner core deformed over time as it spun. Now, researchers have found the first evidence of changes taking place over the past 20 years in the shape of the inner core. Now, the inner core does affect our magnetic fields on the surface
Right.
of Earth. So, I mean, if you put two strong magnets on each side of your head, would that make you dizzy?
I don't know, but I'm not gonna try. But it does interact with our magnetic field. There's a lot to energy, and like I'm totally all into the energy field. It's a whole other show. But this is crazy to me. I've not heard it. I try to avoid all the doomsday news because if it's going to happen, when fine, I'm down. Just whatever happens, happens.
Yeah,
But I had not heard of this. But then again, I don't pay attention to any news anymore. Like, maybe I
right.
should. I used to be that person that always paid attention to the news and da 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 da, but I just don't anymore. I don't if I'm too old to care, I don't know.
Right. Like how much is it out of our control? And definitely
Well,
the Earth's
yeah.
inner core is. Yeah.
Well, I got grandbabies I wanna see grow up on this earth, so it does matter.
Right. And let's see, signs of the core's deformation appeared in waves from earthquakes that were strong enough to reach the Earth's center. So an earthquake happens when two tectonic plates like conflict with each other, like one shifts
Yeah.
over up on the other or something like that. So if
They
that's a strong
recently
enough
had one.
movement,
Yeah, they actually had one in the Caribbean. What was it, yesterday or the day before, and issued some tsunami warnings. I was like, "Wait a minute, is the Gulf about to get a fucking tsunami?" Excuse me, a tsunami? Because 'Cause I'm not far from the Caribbean, but it didn't nothing happened.
yeah. Yeah, they a lot of those. Well, we're going to take a look at the tectonic plate map here in a minute, because I'm going to play a video from CNN that's a follow up to this article. And she actually has one of these scientists on who has been saying for years that the Earth's core is reversing its spin and basically nothing we can do about it. But he also says there's nothing to worry about. So I don't want to give you too much
Yeah.
anxiety. I'll give you a little
Yeah, I
foreshadowing.
mean,
He says,
I think it would probably it's gonna be natural occurrences that are out of our control. Scientists can't do everything, and it is what it is. We're not the only planet on in the galaxy, you know? I feel like they would evolve and change, but it doesn't mean what does it mean?
and he says, I don't know. We'll listen to him. Let me see if there's anything else we need to pick out of this article. They found that the inner core once spun faster than the Earth itself, but beginning around 2010, the solid inner core's spin slowed, and now it's actually revolving backward relative to the rest of the planet.
I wonder if that's why we got that big old snowstorm here in Northwest Florida and that out of nowhere freak tornado yesterday. Because we never get tornadoes either. We don't get snow or tornadoes. And in the past 3 weeks, we've had both. And tonight, I'm supposed to have some volatile weather moving through here. Mm, crazy.
It is. What's happening? What's happening to our world, people?
I don't know. I'm gonna stay in the house. Well, that's a
Good.
lie. I'm gonna go outside, but then I'm gonna stay in my own little zone. How about that?
Good morning, Trace. I see Trace is in chat. Seeking Justice. Good morning.
Yes.
Morning,
Good
V.
morning. Morning, everyone. Y'all all got your coffee because Joe's trying to take us somewhere we might not want to go. No, I'm just joking. Or it's just like, can we finish our coffee first before we
Right.
fall off the earth? Take it with us, Forrest. Let's put thermoses. So I'm saying I got to get me a bag ready. I need a thermos of coffee. I need snacks. I need my gummies, whatever. I don't know where I'm going to fall to.
Of all the Earth's layers, the inner core is the most remote and mysterious. This
Oh,
solid
yeah.
sphere of iron and nickel is about 70% the size of the moon with a radius of approximately 759 miles. Temperatures in the inner core are as high as 98,000 degrees, and the pressures can reach 365 gigapascals, more than 3 million times greater than the Earth's average atmospheric pressure. Wow. All right.
Mm-mm.
I'm going to bore you guys to death reading from this article about scientific stuff. So let's go and look at the interview she did with the scientist. Let me get back to StreamYard because it's a little easier to follow them when they're talking about it out loud than hearing me read it out of an article.
We're visual people.
All right, that's the article. Where's the video? Oh, for crying out loud. How did I lose it already?
You hate when that happens. Look, that was me yesterday when I was trying to do a few things.
Oh, I think I saved it to my playlist. There we go. I've
There
got a
you
shortcut
go.
for it now.
Those playlists come in handy, don't they?
They do. I'm using them more and more. I didn't want to have a really long live today, so I didn't make a huge playlist. But we do have this one. Hold on, lady. Don't start talking yet.
Now, you know you can't tell a lady not to talk.
Especially a news person.
And y'all know I'm teasing Joe. Well, I hope you do anyway.
It's funny because it's true. Here we go. Unmute her.
Is she unmuted? Because we can't hear her.
Oh, you can't hear her?
Nope.
Yeah, she was unmuted. I can hear her on mine.
Why can't I hear her? Huh, let me check the desktop. Hold on, I'm on the phone.
Everybody else. Can everybody in chat hear her? I'm going to keep playing her. You tell me if she's...
Okay, let it play and I'll tell you if I can hear it.
Doggone it. All right.
Yep, Forrest agrees. We can't hear shit.
I could hear it. I don't know what y'all's problem is.
I don't know. Are you wearing earbuds or anything like that?
I'm wearing a Bluetooth headset.
I don't know if that's got something to do with it or not.
This is the first time I can remember having this problem.
Yeah, usually they play. I don't use Bluetooth when I'm streaming and stuff like that, so I don't know if that has an effect on it or not. I know
Right.
when Discords have issues with Bluetooth headsets, so.
Let's try it one more time. Tell me if this is better.
In the Earth's inner core that sounds like the plot, a Hollywood blockbuster. Scientists say our planet's solid core, which is actually disconnected from the rest of the Earth's layers, may actually have stopped rotating and could even reverse course. This is a new study. It was published Monday in the journal Nature Geoscience, and its authors, who are based in Beijing, took a very close look at the size of waves from earthquakes that have passed through our planet's core since the 1960s, and that is how they were able to calculate the speed at which the inner core is spinning. Are you confused? I am. We're going to get to understand this a little bit better with our guest. Let's bring in Michio Kaku. He's a professor of theoretical physics at the City University of New York. Professor, good morning. Thank you.
Morning. Glad to be on.
What does this mean?
Well, at first it sounds like something from a Hollywood movie.
Right.
The script says, oh my God, the core of the earth is spinning backwards. I mean, this is worse than having a tsunami or an earthquake. The stability of what you walk on is at stake. Now, this report comes not from Hollywood. It comes from reputable scientists at Beijing University that analyze echoes. When an earthquake takes place, shock waves go reverberating around the inside of the earth. And by analyzing these echoes with computers, you can recreate a model of the inside of the earth. And sure enough, the core seems to be about to spin backwards.
Okay, but I read that this happens every 70 years, so we don't need to be alarmed?
That's right. The bad news is that we know very little about the core of the earth, very little about what's underneath our feet. The good news is probably there's nothing to worry about, in the sense that roughly every 70 years or so, we're not sure, the center of the Earth does seem to go backwards. If this is the core, this is the crust of the Earth that we live on.
Yes.
This is the core of the Earth. The core could move independently of the crust. That's the key.
So the part we're on never moves in reverse.
Yeah. So the core of the Earth sits in a pool of like molasses, and it's able to spin independently of the crust of the Earth. So, in other words, don't lose any sleep over this. Probably it's a natural cycle. It takes place probably once every 70 years or so. But we need more data because this is new territory for us.
Yeah.
Did you hear him say probably twice there? It's
Yeah.
probably nothing to lose sleep over.
Well,
It's probably not going to have any effect on us. Probably.
well, if they know now that it occurs around every 70 years, I'm willing to agree. I mean, they
Right.
know enough to know that it's been occurring, and now they are just finding out more as technology advances, you know.
Yeah, but him
But
saying the word
Earth,
probably like twice in a row kind of bugs me just a little
well,
bit.
they're
Not like
all
I'm
going to
worried.
say probably. Nobody can know nothing for sure. I don't give a crap what their degrees are, how many years they went to school, how many years they've been in their profession. They can never say for sure.
Oh, but Tony Liggett can. He can say that
No,
it's not
I don't
humanly
even think
possible.
about they're not getting my headspace. Don't get me going. Tony who?
Right. It's not humanly possible that we're going
Yeah.
to fall off the face of the earth.
I'm gonna put my magic hands together and stop it all.
Well, I wonder, so the core of the earth is what provides our gravitational forces and magnetic forces. So if
Right.
that shape of the core is changing, is that going to change our magnetic fields and our gravitational fields? Like, are some
Well,
people going to be heavier in some areas and lighter in others?
well, not if it's been occurring for every 70 years. This type of thing occurs, and it's on the inner core where it doesn't affect like he just said. We're not going to feel a change.
Probably.
It's internal that it's happening. But we'll see. I mean, I'm friendly with the aliens and all that good stuff. So whatever happens, happens.
Whereas
I don't want to be their
lose any
enemy.
sleep over this. Probably it's a natural cycle. It takes place probably once every 70 years or so.
Probably.
But we need more data because this is new territory for us.
Yeah. Why do we need to know? I mean, they spent a lot of time, they studied earthquakes back to the 60s. Why is it important to know more about this? What are the implications?
The implications are potentially enormous because think of continental drift. Why
Sure.
are the continents moving away from each other? What is driving it? And also earthquakes, the whole nature of the stability of the planet itself. We know very little about what's underneath our feet.
Mhm.
And that's why this information from echoes, computer analyzed, is very important because it tells us the future of the Earth.
What questions, finally, Professor, does this leave you with?
Well, it leaves me with the frustration that it's under our feet. It's just you can almost touch it, but it is thousands of miles distance, and we really don't know that much about our home. We know more about other planets than we do about the center
That's
of
so
the Earth.
interesting.
Like
Well,
Mars,
that's
for
their
example,
fault.
is probably frozen over.
Right. We
They're
wanted
the
to
ones
go-
that decided to go study every other planet in the freaking galaxy except for our own, trying to find a new one to move to. I have no desire to leave. Too much trouble.
Yeah, they say that space is the final frontier, but it appears like the core of the Earth is the final frontier.
Exactly. Space is out there for a reason. Y'all need to leave it alone, maybe. Like, for real, think about it. I mean, if we were meant to live on another planet, I think we would be on that planet.
Yeah, it's amazing the curiosity that man has to explore out there. It's
I mean, I get wanting to explore it and all that, but wanting to go move to it when you don't know much about it and spend millions and billions putting little robot cars on it and driving it around trying to figure out how many times they got flipped off by an alien that said, "Get out of here." Why we ain't been to the dark side of the moon? Because they said, "Get the hell out of here." I'm not messing around in their territory. I'll stay right here.
Not
Joe, are
much
you ready to
earthquake
leave?
activity at all.
Do what?
All right, would you be one of those that would jump on board one of
Oh, hell
Elon's
no.
little flights to
No.
Mars or whatever?
No, 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 no,
No.
no. If we
Yeah.
had near speed of light space travel and we had a destination that was a livable planet, yeah. But I've driven pretty much all across this country out in the wide open spaces of West Texas and Wyoming and Montana, and we have tons of space here on this earth still. And
Yes, we
I
do.
would even rather live in New Jersey than Mars, and that's saying something.
Oh, I don't know if I could go that far, but
Well,
I got
Cape May, New Jersey is on the south tip, and Cape May is an absolutely gorgeous area. I love that. I literally could live there. It's like a small fishing town with Italian
Yeah.
restaurants.
I was teasing my cousins because when we were doing our we didn't upload no DNA, but we were doing like family tree on Ancestry or whatever. And it looks like our great grandfather came from New Jersey. Like we're below the Mason-Dixon line. We are all Southern as they come. And I made fun of my cousin. I was like, dude, did you know we're originally from New Jersey? He's like, get out of here. He was not having it. He was like, no. I was like, yeah.
Almost all immigrants came through that route.
Exactly.
Of Staten
Exactly.
Island. Yeah.
Right.
I did have some that came through my grandmother's side. My paternal grandmother's side did come through Texas. So apparently there was some kind of an immigration port through the Gulf of Mexico.
And from, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah. So that's where, so she was always a Texas Longhorns fan, and she was the first US born Polish American. So
I like to think I came up out of the Gulf too. That's my home. I just walked right out like a mermaid and said, here I am.
All right, let's see. We've only got like not even a minute left on this, half a minute left on this.
No. So we know a fair amount about Mars. We know very little about the Earth because the Earth is dynamic. Things are moving and churning at the center of the Earth. That's why we have earthquakes. That's why we have continental drift and volcanoes.
Yeah, volcanoes, my son's favorite thing.
Oh.
He likes to make it with baking soda and vinegar in
That's
the kitchen.
it, Joe.
Thank you, Professor. I now understand it.
Yes.
Hasn't the continental drift been going on forever, though?
Yeah, since the beginning of time, basically,
Yeah.
since the beginning of recorded time. Like there are theories that there was just one huge landmass in the very beginning of time, and it broke apart by the tectonic plates and drifted apart.
Yeah. I wasn't too much into science, but I remember that part.
I do know about tectonic plates because of the industry that I work in.
Yeah.
And it much better. We appreciate it.
So speaking of tectonic plates,
They rub together and they cause friction and all wreak havoc, right?
right. So here's a picture of the tectonic plates. We're on the North American plate. There's also a Caribbean plate, South American plate. The Pacific plate is huge. The North American plate is huge. The Eurasian plate is huge. The Antarctic plate is huge. But the North American plate is rotating counterclockwise at the rate of about 2.5 centimeters, which is about 1 inch per year. So our position on the face of the Earth actually changes every year, about 1 inch. So if you're 50 years old, then it's changed 4 feet. You're 4 feet, located 4 feet different on the Earth than you were when you were born.
Okay.
And the Pacific plate is rotating clockwise, so it's going in the opposite direction of the North American plate. So if you look at where those lines are between the plates, what do we notice about that? There's always a bunch of earthquakes along those black lines. And on some of them, especially over here on the line between the Philippine plate and the Eurasian plate and the Pacific plate, there's also a bunch of volcanoes on a regular basis on that. So that's where the plates rub against each other and that hot core comes out in the form of volcanoes and islands are formed. I mean, we can see there the Aleutian Islands up on Alaska right along that plate. And then down here in Central America, there are active volcanoes down there and passive volcanoes down there, and earthquakes all the time on that the west edge of the South American plate and the west edge of the North American plate. Anyway, the plate. CH, you crack me up. Maybe it'll be renamed the Plate of America. So that's I've got one more thing to share this morning. I was going to do it the other day when we were talking about Coburger, but I didn't. So I still have a little thing in my back pocket on that one, and I'm just interested to hear your thoughts. First, we'll just take a little quick dive to his house to refresh our memory where Brian Coburger's parents' house was. Do I have it up here? I don't think I have it up here anymore. Oh, we'll do the 119. What was it? Lambsden Drive. There we go. I didn't save it. Luckily, I remember the address. It's over here in the Poconos, on the northwest edge of the Poconos. That's the house that his parents bought in 2014. So how old would he have been in 2014 when they moved to that house? That was 11 years ago. How old is he now? He was 28 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, he was 28 when he was arrested. So
that was
30, 29, 30. His birthday's in November. Damn Scorpio. So he turned 29 in November of the year of the crime. He was 28 when he committed them. And I think his birthday was a few weeks later because that's when he changed the license over on the car, the license plate stuff. So he would have been 29 by then, 30 the following year.
So subtract 8 years from that. So he would have been 21 when his parents moved to this house. So was he living with him then? Like, did he live with them the whole time, or did he try and like venture out on his own?
No, this guy never left home. This guy he never left his parents' home until he moved to Washington. Never. 28 years old. Now,
So,
I get living with mom and dad when you're putting yourself through college, because he did go to Northampton and he did go to DeSales, all right there in Pennsylvania. So I could kind of understand, but most young people don't want to stay with mom and dad. They want to get out on their own, even if they are working and going to school. But yes, Coburger lived with them as far as we know, from what we've been able to gather and from what we've been told. He lived with them the entire time until he moved to Washington. Mommy wrote a big old thing on, oh gosh, where'd she write it on? A big post about her baby leaving, worrying about him. Dad gets down there to help him, get settled in, and starts reaching out to the people in the parking lot at the apartments. Here's my son. He's new here. Be his friend. Because they knew
his
their
dad
son
went
was...
out there with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That makes this public document even more interesting. I found this when I was doing my land records research the other day. So this is instrument number 2022-26128, Monroe County, Pennsylvania. The premises, 119 Lambsden Drive. Mortgage. Borrower is Michael F. Coburger Jr. and Marianne Coburger, aka Marianne R. Coburger. Lender is PSECU, is a credit union. Note means promissory note signed by borrower and dated August 8th, 2022. The note states the borrower owes lender $50,000. So they took out a second mortgage on their house for $50,000 the exact same time that Brian Coburger and his dad apparently went out to Washington State. So was daddy paying for his tuition? Was he paying for his rent? Was it a combination of student expenses? Was daddy paying his way?
Yes. Because they had been waiting on him to get his stuff together for a long time. after he got through with the drug problem and got over the little stole his sister's phone thing and all that. I think they were just doing whatever they could to help the guy along. Okay, now you're finally doing good. You've graduated to sales. You've been recommended and accepted to this really highly accredited program. You got a teacher's assistant job. You're finally on the right track, son. And then, yeah. So I
Now
don't
get
doubt
out
they
of the
would help
house.
him.
No, when are
Well, I
you leaving
mean,
the house?
yeah, I mean, I think a lot of parents honestly will do whatever it takes to help their children as long as they're helping themselves, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
if he finally appeared to have it together and was off the drugs and doing well, and like I said, already graduated to Northampton and to sales, and now you're going on to this highly accredited program for a PhD, sure, we'll take out another mortgage and help you pay for it or expenses, whatever. I mean, I'm assuming that that's what they did, but it wouldn't be a surprise.
Yeah, and kind of look at it too. Also, I mean, was he? I don't. I'm not going to speculate on his psyche, but I have one of my sons that I helped along with post high school classes at the local community college. I paid for his classes. I'm like, you go to class, I'll pay for it.
Right,
He didn't take it seriously. He
right.
didn't. He ended up dropping out of the class, and it was wasted money. It was thrown away. So
Yep.
it wasn't $50,000, but still, it was frustrating. So do your children take it less seriously? Some of them do, some of them don't. If you're paying their way.
Yeah, I think it just depends. Because there are a
It
lot of
does.
parents out there who do help their children through school. It's not an abnormal situation to do that.
No, my dad helped me my first year at Purdue. Absolutely, he did.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got one more thing to share. And then we can wrap it up for today so I can go finish doing my research. I've got to change my intro and outro tune, unfortunately. So I don't get these stupid notifications every single time. So no, we're not going back to the tectonics. We're going to talk about my special guest tonight. Megan Connor is the cousin to Lori Vallow-Daybell. And she's agreed to come on and do an interview with me tonight. I'm super excited about it. She's an amazing person. I'm going to read her bio. I'm going to go ahead and read her bio off of Amazon. We'll look at it too. But she's survived a lot in her lifetime, and she has turned that into helping other people. All right, where's that website at that I had pulled up? It's gone. It's gone. No, it's not gone. It's right there.
I save stuff on my Google Chrome.
There we go.
If I can.
There we go. So Megan Connor has written a couple of books. We'll look at the books first, and then we'll talk about her. So she's done one called I Walked Through Fire to Get Here, and one called Self-Care. She's the mother of 6 spectacular human beings and a breaker of generational trauma cycles. She survived sex trafficking as a child and spent almost 40 years in other abusive systems before finally learning how to break free. Megan is now an author and coach and teaches others how to identify and exit coercive and abusive relationships and systems. She is passionate about discussing how toxic family patterns and cult mentalities led her cousin, Lori Vallow-Daybell, to become a convicted murderer and how everyone can help prevent future tragedies. Megan's favorite topics to teach about are healthy parenting, family systems, high demand religion, and healing from trauma. Her books are available on Amazon. So I'm super excited to have her on tonight.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be interesting to hear the conversation and It's just going to be interesting. There's a lot of things I think that she'll have to say that will like
Yeah, and
that will spark
obviously
good conversation.
the attention is going to be on her relationship with Lori, but I also want to focus on her other life experiences and the things she's doing now, because that's amazing to go through all of that and then come out of it on the other side. Such a strong person is amazing. So I'm really looking forward to that. If you guys could share, I've already got it scheduled on YouTube. So go look at my YouTube channel and share that out. I've also got it posted on X. So if you follow me on X, share that out. If you don't, follow me and then share it. JS Media is my X handle. Same picture. But that's it for this morning, folks. I've got work to do. I've got a lot of work to do to get ready for tonight. So thank you all for joining me for just a little bit and being relieved along with me that we're not actually going to fall off the planet anytime soon.
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to tonight's live for sure.
All right. Thanks, Salty. Thanks, Forrest. Thanks, everybody in chat. Come see me tonight at 9:00 Eastern. Come hang out with me and Megan.
Thanks, guys. See you later.